So, this is Paula Jasmine, and welcome to How I Got Into Pro Wrestling Part 8. I can believe it's Part 8. Hopefully, I will be able to finish in ten videos how I got into pro wrestling. Now, last time, in the last video, if you are following my videos, I was talking about how I moved from Puerto Rico to New Jersey in 2000. Like I said, I moved from Puerto Rico to New Jersey because I got a job offer. Um, so in 2000, November 2000, I moved to from Philadelphia, from spending about a month in a friend house, um, to South Jersey, and I was living in Collingswood, yeah, Collingswood, New Jersey, and so back in March of more like in February. Like in February, I began feeling lonely. You know, when you move away from. I mean, I left my home in Puerto Rico, my family, my parents. I moved to a totally new place where I knew nobody. So that added to my comfort level, and I guess just to meet new people, I decided that, and the bug of wrestling hit me again, even though I was just finished recovering from a ankle injury, broken ankle, left ankle, and so I decided to look for a wrestling school. And remembering the book that I had, which was this one, um, I decided to find out where the school were, and I found out that the Monster Factory wasn't that far away from where I used to live, and it was in a mall, and I decided to go on a tryout. And they accepted me in the school, so I began training there, and I trained there, and you can see that I paid the money in there, um, to Larry Sharp and in the school. And I began training there. Like I said in the last video, there were two rings. They were 16, they were really small, they were stuck to the floor because somehow they decided to put them in the floor, and that made it very hard to bump. And Larry Sharp was in a partnership with Jim Molyneux, who was a referee at ECW, and a trainer named Ed. I don't know his last name, but he was there. In their training was John the Tank Toland, Herbert Pigeon, Jake Bishop, who came to help us train, and Monica Mansfield, who was a first woman that I met at the time at a wrestling school, because in Puerto Rico when I was training there were not many women training with us, and once in a while you will see people stopping at the school like Cliff Compton and Danny Cage. Um, so yeah, so I was training there, and look, I just mentioned the Monster Factory not because I graduated, because I don't feel like I ever graduated there. I only spent like less than a year, and ended up at the end of the year, at the end of the time that I spent there, I ended up dislocating my left elbow during a match that I did for Larry's wrestling company. Um, Now the way do shows in fairs and all that kind of stuff. They had a different ring for that, and it was in a truck, and it was a 20 ring, and it was going from a small ring to a big ring. It was a big mess because in the big ring you have to run more, and the timing issues were going to happen. But I did spend the time there learning, and that's why I mentioned, because he was instrumental in my beginning years. No, coming from Puerto Rico, from learning a style that was punch, kick, punch, and I felt like I needed to learn more. And being in the school, I learned more of in the area of chain wrestling, and it's funny because they used to put us in there to practice amateur wrestling, and I never practiced amateur wrestling before, neither in competition. So to me, it was in moving out of my comfort zone of punch, kick, punch to become more of a chain wrestling, and I enjoy doing chain now more than anything else, because I felt that was something missing. I have come to appreciate that. I was always a fan of Kurt Angle when he debuted, and I enjoy his wrestling style because of that. So I was happy to be learning more chain wrestling, that I could incorporate in my wrestling matches. The other thing that I learned in that school, and this is why I would recommend the Monster Factory to anybody, because that school was then back then was good, and the school now run by Danny Ketch is also very good too. So yeah, if anybody is thinking of a good school to go, Monster Factory, go there. Contact Danny Cage. So the other thing that I learned there that helped me a lot was the ring psychology, and the trainer there, he divided the ring psychology in three different parts, like the beginning, the middle, the end, and that breakdown of the wrestling match, of the ring psychology, that really helped me later on as a wrestler, and that's something that probably is the biggest thing that I can tell that I'm good at, is like understand the ring psychology. And that's what I understand about my matches. Because honestly, in 6 minutes or 5 minutes for a wrestling match, you cannot put every move in the book. Besides, you also have to leave other things for people later in the card. So you have to have a good knowledge of the ring psychology in order to be able to create a match that is entertaining, but also has a story to tell.